Even though Japan switched to the XRP system, prices won't go through the roof in the next few months. Japan will also allow stablecoins backed by the yen to be used on blockchain. We start to wonder what technology will be used to build this, or will it be a mix of a lot of different technologies? And that's right, this movie is going to look at all the links between Japan, Ripple, and XRP. Guys, I have a lot of great information to share with you. Let's take a closer look and see what's going on. We now have a post from Deanna in the group. Deanna asks if Japan's use of XRP could cause the price to skyrocket to $22. Korea turned XRP into a huge deal. The world market might not just move if Japan does what it says, it might blow up. The September Seoul doubleheader could send the liquidity jolt that XRP has been waiting for. Korea, the sleepy giant that woke XRP population around 53 million, they say here. 7 million active XRP users, that's 13% of the population, 20% of the world's XRP volume, and 500 million to 700 million daily flows. And just to give you an idea, the wallet count is a little off here. I had to double check some of this information. Reports on active wallets in South Korea say that there are about 7.1 million wallets listed or linked to Korean users and exchanges. But this number includes all wallets, and a lot of them are copies with very little or no money in them. I just want to give you that extra point of view. With 125 million people, Japan is the biggest market that could be broken. If Korea's 13% usage rate is applied to Japan, there would be 16 million XRP users there. This is 2.3 Korea's firepower, with a daily possible amount of 1.1 to 1.4 billion XRP. The shockwave of 500 to 700 million won a day from Korea and 1.1 to 1.4 billion yen a day from Japan would add up to 1.6 billion to 2.1 billion yen a day in retail liquidity. When you add institutional ODL routes on top of that, the supply squeeze gets really bad. What does this mean for the price of XRP? Price of XRP doesn't go up or down when traffic doubles, as history shows. Instead, prices explode. The price could go up by $5 before events in September and $10 after them, with ETF and institutional flows adding another $12 to $22 by the end of the year. September is also the same as XRP's double nuclear trigger. XRP was sold in 2025 on September 21st. I hope you can make it to the event. Executive at Ripple, SBI, XRP Ledger Labs, new corridors, treasury usage, or ODL growth. Because of this, they might have some new news to share, which we will bring to you live on the show as soon as we get it. September 22nd and 28th, Korea Blockchain Week, Asia's biggest and busiest blockchain event, the world's attention on XRP, back-to-back stage time, back-to-back liquidity shockwaves. It runs SBI Remit and SBI VC Trade, connects Japan and SIA corridors, and can turn on XRP payments between Japan and Korea overnight. SBI Holdings is Japan's best friend and Ripple's strongest partner in Asia. Dan says this isn't just a thought, the rails are already there. The global effect that happens when Korea and Japan work together is that Western traders chase the rise, order books thin out, and XRP prices go through the roof. Korea lit the match and Japan could set off the rocket. Is Japan about to make XRP worth $20 or more? Let's listen to the Paul Barron now. I did want to say that if a lot of new people sign up, that will definitely make the price of XRP go up. I think there are already some people in Japan who own XRP. That way, 16% of the people don't just wake up and decide to use something. It would have to be something very big, like the government announcing that they are going to make a safe coin based on Ripple CBDC technology. If something like that happens, it could change everything, and I believe that safe coins backed by the yen will appear on many blockchains. I think the XRP system will get here in the end. I think Ethereum and Uber are the two most clear ones, but please tell me in the comments where else you think yen-backed stablecoins will appear on blockchains. As currencies change over time, I think it will be on most of them at some point. We want the US dollar to do well because, well, that's just being American. If the US dollar stays the world's reserve currency, people all over the world will treat Americans as such. Anywhere we go, we can spend our money. There are other countries that also want their currencies to get some attention. In that case, I think you'll have digital euros. They will give you digital pounds, digital Swiss francs, digital yen, and any other cash you can think of. Let's play this Paul Barron video. Japan cuts taxes on XRP. Will the USA follow? Let's play. Japan, you need to think about SBI, and one of the largest companies in the world is SBI. One reason is that they are committed to Ripple and have been for a while. They keep getting bigger. Based on how much XRP they actually own, they currently hold 9% of the company. People who own shares in them are telling them not to sell the XRP. Our stock will go down. We need more, so the stock keeps going up. There is a lot going on there. The CEO of Ripple says that by 2020, all banks in Japan will use XRP. Hey, this is crypto. Erie, who lives in Japan, came out and said that this was not what was said about this. I just wanted to let you know that's what I think about it. In fact, this wasn't said the way it was said. By 2025, every bank in Japan will use XRP. Think about this. Every bank in a country will use just about anything. It's likely that one tool won't be the best across the whole network. Now, if you get 25% adoption or 50% adoption, those are crazy numbers. It's possible that all banks would decide to use XRP one day. I just don't believe that to be true. But you can tell me in the comments if I'm crazy. 5. Now, I'm not sure if they're talking about the end of 2025 or something else, but this has been a big story for a while, okay? It's been April 28th, 2022. Okay, nothing fishy. FinTech Summit just took place not long ago. You can also look at these speakers. A digital minister is one of the main guests. He just so happened to have met Brad Garlinghouse right there. Look, we met this week in Tokyo. Their leaders want to make Bitcoin and blockchain technology better. You can see that there is a clear link between what is going on with Ripple in general and what is going on with the Japanese officials. I want to also talk about this right now because this is something else that's going on. This is Sony's bank wall. Okay, let's quickly go over, wait, what? Did they get around that? Hold on to one more thing. This came from you today. It also talks about Ripple meeting with Japanese leaders, plus a few points inside this. It happened in September. On the other hand, if you look further down, this is where they were talking with Tyra. It looks like this has been planned for a while.